Hi, what's up guys? My name is Mr. Vinny, musician, tech entrepreneur, and you're welcome to my YouTube channel, Bevin Optimum Consult. This channel is dedicated to helping you get the right gadget for the right purpose at the right budget. Please, before we go on, don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell, be the first to get notified because we have a lot of stuff for you. You don't want to miss out on the content on this channel. So today we want to talk about things to consider when buying any gadget. Gadgets are mostly electronics, so they are made up of diodes, resistors, transistors, so you don't want to wake up one day and just buy. There are things to consider like review, what people have said about a gadget that you want to get, their views, their experience, brands, there are a lot of brands available that you can choose from, and compatibility, how compatible is the gadget with what you want to use it for. We have comparison, comparing one to another, advantage and disadvantage over the other. Number one important thing that people forget about is purpose. Your purpose determines your actions and your directions. If you know why you're buying, then you know what to buy. So you ask yourself, do I need it? If yes, then why do I need it? What purpose is it going to serve? Management says that there are things that are important, but are not urgent. There are things that are urgent, but are not important. There are things that are important and urgent at the same time. So you consider all these things. There are some few things I want to talk about under purpose. I don't believe that anybody want to buy a gadget and put it home for decoration or put it down and then use it once a while. You bought it to serve a purpose in your life. So if you invest in something, you want a proud back, you want a profit on it. So you don't want to buy a gadget that will be lying down, use it once a while or once in a blue moon. It's unfortunate that most people consider their budget rather than the purpose for which they're buying the gadget. So to avoid buying cheap gadgets, you have to go online, check about the gadget, the purpose, budget for it. You compare what you want to get from the gadget or get into a shop, walk around, do a window shopping, check the prices, ask about the gadget, let them explain it to you, then you know what you're going to get the next time you step into the shop. It's unfortunate that most people actually want to buy based on their budget. You walk into the shop and I have 200 cedis. What kind of gadget will I get for this amount of budget that I have? And then you go, the next day the person comes back and then the gadget is having so many issues. I'm sure most people have no idea about what RAM is, what ROM is, what the processing speed is. So that's why they actually walk into the shop and they buy any gadgets based on the money that they have. But if you have a fair idea about what the RAM is, what it can do, or what the ROM is, what it can do, what the processing speed is, how it can help you, you'll be able to know what to get from your gadget. I believe nobody wants to buy a gadget today and then the following 2 weeks or 3 weeks you have to find a way or you have to change it or you'll be forced to change it. But you consider how long you want to use the gadget. 1 year, 2 years, 3 years before you change it. So then you know exactly what to go and get. You know the specs, the reviews about it. You know everything about it before you even step into the shop to buy it. So you know that this machine is taking you 1 year before you replace it. Or this machine is taking you 2 years before you replace it. That way you know exactly what to go for. That means you know the reason why you are getting the gadget. And therefore you'll be able to choose exact gadget for exact purpose. If you have money, like Dangote, fine, you are at liberty to buy anything you want to buy any day and any time. But if not, then please, you need not to be a spendthrift. You need to consider what you need the thing for. You have to consider why you need it. You have to consider all these things before you even set out to buy. With my 3 points, it comes down to the spendthrift. Because you consider how long, how often, all these things before you even step out to buy. So you know exactly what to buy. So you don't buy today and the next day you are forced to go and change it and buy a different one. In a part of the world, there's no guarantee, there is warranty. Warranty means that software issues will be sought out for you. Anything software, they will be able to sort out for you. But anything hardware, you have to sort it out yourself. You can take it there for them to help you out, but you pay for the services. If your screen crack, if whatever happens to it, physical damage and all those things, you have to pay for it. So I believe that nobody wants to go through all this hell. So you have to make sure that before you get a gadget, you are really sure of what you're going to use it for. You have all these things that I'm talking about in mind. So you don't spend money today. Tomorrow, there's no part for what you even got. And then that means you have to buy a new one. Most gadgets don't have parts in a part of the world. So when you get them, and then you have an issue, physical damage, and you're not able to get things fixed, you need to get another money to buy a new gadget, which is waste of money. So you consider all these things before you even set out to buy a new gadget. Thanks for watching. I hope the next time you set out to buy a new gadget, you consider the thing that we discussed on this channel. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, comment, and turn on your post notification button so you get notified anytime we drop a new video. It's your boy, VI2NY. Vinny! Hey, what's up guys? My name is Mr. Vinny, musician, tech entrepreneur, and you're welcome to my YouTube channel, Bevin Optimum Consort. This channel is dedicated to helping you get the right gadget for the right purpose at the right budget. Please, before we go on, don't forget to subscribe, like, share, comment, and turn on your post notification button so anytime we drop a video, you'll be the first to get notified. Today, I want to talk about things to consider when buying memory cards. With the increment of fake memory cards in the system and then the complaints we've had over the years, we've realized that this topic is very urgent. People keep complaining about memory cards they got today and then tomorrow it doesn't work. They got it now and it's corrupted. They put one or two files on it and it's not working anymore. So I want to show you some things that you've not known about memory card. First of all, there are three types of memory cards. We have the SD, which is the secure digital. We have the SDHC, which is the secure digital high capacity. We have the SDXC, which is secure digital extended capacity. So every gadget that you get, there is an indication on the gadget that will show you the kind of memory cards that needs to fit into your gadget, which most of us don't really do. We just buy any memory cards. We walk into the gadget shop and we say, you want a memory card? How many gig? You know the gig that you want. Then you buy it, you put it into your... But in an actual sense, maybe the SD card that you got is SDHC, which is the high capacity, which might not be able to work well in the gadget that you got. So it's very important for you to know the types of memory cards that we have. So there are classes of memory cards, which I know most of you are not aware of. We have class 4, class 6, class 10. And the classes comes with the speed. So the higher the class, the higher the speed. The lower the class, surely the lower the speed. So class 4 comes with a writing speed of 4, class 6 the same, class 10. So these are the things that you need to know even before you even set out to buy any memory cards. You need to know the types, you need to know the classes, and then you need to know the type that your gadget needs. There are three things that I want to talk about that you need to consider before buying any memory card. So the first thing that you need to consider is your device. Why is it your device? You need to consider which type of SD card your device is compatible with. if it is a camera, mostly is written at the memory card slot, where they will write SD, HC, or something like that. If it's a phone, you have to read the manual that comes with the phone to know the kind of memory card or the type of memory card that will be compatible with your device. Because if it's not compatible with your device, that's where we get a lot of these issues where your memory cards get corrupted easily all the time. Also, I want to talk about the file systems on the SD cards. So there are file systems on the SD cards that are used or structured to store information on the SD cards. And because of the imitation nature of memory cards that we have in a system right now, most of them, their file systems are not structured well. So you buy a memory card today, even though it's compatible with your device, you still get corrupted memory cards all the time. So it's very important to know the kind of memory card that will be compatible with your device. The second thing I want to talk about is brand, of course. Because of the file system nature that I've talked about, the way it's structured, we have to get a brand that is noted for memory cards, brands that are very reliable when it comes to memory cards. So anytime you set out to buy a memory card, you need to set out to get a correct brand, a brand that is reliable. There are so many brands that have good file systems that can actually help you get the correct data storage for your device. The third thing I want to talk about is the size of memory cards that best fits your gadgets that you have. So most of these gadgets comes with the storage size, that's the SD card size, which your device will be able to pick. So you have to read about the highest size of SD card that your device would be able to pick. So if your device has an internal of 8 gig, and your manual says that your SD card size has to be 32 gig, it can take up to 32 gig. That means you don't have to put an SD card which is more than 32 gig. Some people will ask why. It's because with the manufacturer, they have tested for the SD card of 32 gig. It might or might not work because they have not done the backward compatibility with the device to see if 64 gig will be able to pick. What they've tested is 32 gig. And so that is why they written in the manual that you need to get an external SD card, or you can extend your memory card to an amount of 32 gig. That means you need to obey 32 gig. When you put a 64 gig, it might work, but that is to your own risk because they have not tested it. Your manual says 32 gig. So you make sure you get 32 gig to fit it. And we have another thing that people always complain about, that they got a size which is lesser than the internal gig of the device. Maybe the device says that you can extend your storage with an SD card of 64 gig and your internal gig is 32 gig. Then you buy an SD card 8 gig and you put it inside. That is a backward compatibility which has not been tested. When the manual says you can pick up to 64 gig SD card, means the internal of your device is 32 gig, meaning you have to start from 32 gig to 64 gig. It doesn't mean that 8 gig wouldn't work. 8 gig might work, 6 gig might work, 2 gig might work, 32 gig might work, 16 gig might work. But if not been tested, most phones that have not been tested well or have manufacturing issues might not even work at all. It might even freeze your device. So the last thing I want to talk about is how to identify all these things we've talked about. So first of all, after knowing the kind of SD card or the type of SD card that your device needs, when you get to the shop and you ask for an SD card, most of the people might or might not have an idea about it. So when you ask for the SD card, you pick it up and you check. Your device needs SDHC, which is the high definition, high capacity. So you look on the SD card, you see it's written SDHC, then you know that, okay, that is exactly the type of SD card my system needs. Another thing to look out for is the class I talked about. The classes are very important. The SDHC, which is the high capacity, start from 4 gig upward. The SD itself start from 2 gig to from megabytes like 512 megabytes to 2 gig. But the SDHC start from 4 gig to 32 gig. So you look closely on it and you see if it's SDHC, you know it's a high capacity kind of SD card. Then when it's more than 32 gig, which is 64 gig, 128 gig, you need to make sure that it is SDXC, which is the extended capacity. Because 64 gig extended means that it's more, it's higher. But if you get an SD card which is 64 gig, but it's still SDHC, which is the high definition, it means your memory card is not correct or it's a fake. So that one, you look out for it, you search, you see SDXC on it. When you look out for these things and you know the type that your device wants, then you are good to go. Another thing that you need to look out for is the class of memory card. It's very important. So as when you're copying data or you're putting files on your SD card, you don't have much issues with it. So what you look out for is, you look out for C, mostly it's written C and 10 in it, or C with something in it. Or you look out for U and a 3, or U and a 1 in it. So the C and the 10 in it means that class 10, which of course is the highest writing speed, and of course is the good or is the best that you can go for. You can see U with 3 in it. It is class 3. It is in a class of 3. It is in a class of 4. It is in a class of 5. It is in a class of 6. So you look out for these things. They are all written on the SD card. It's not written on the adapter. And I want to make it clear that for phones that you might be able to put it, you have your SD card itself and then the adapter. So it's not written on the adapter, it's written on the SD card itself. All these things that we talked about, it's written on the SD card itself. But in cameras, their memory cards are always together. So everything is written on it. If you're using a camera from the 80s or from the 90s, fine, you can pick most of these memory card SD cards. But if it is in the 20s, then you need a memory card for your device, which doesn't have to have an adapter and then the memory card itself. Everything is the memory card. So everything is written on it, the class, the type, or everything is written on the SD card for you to see. Thank you guys for watching. I hope the next time that you set out to buy a memory card, you consider these things and look out for these things that we've talked about on this channel. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, comment, and turn on your post notification button so anytime we drop any video, you'll be the first to get notified. It's your boy VI2NY Vinny. Hi, what's up guys? My name is Mr. Vinny, musician, tech entrepreneur, and you're welcome to my YouTube channel, Mervin Optimum Concert. Please, before you go on, don't forget to subscribe, like, hit the bell, be the first to get notified, so anytime we drop a new video, you get it. Because you don't want to miss out on the content of this channel. In our last episode, we talked about things to consider when buying any gadgets, part 1. Today, we want to talk about things to consider when buying any gadgets, part 2. If you've not watched the part 1, the link is in the description section below. You can check it out. So we talked about purpose. If you know why you're buying, then you know what to buy. So today, we want to talk about if you know why you're buying, then you know what to buy. Then now you know how to buy. So if you know why and you know what, then now you know how. So today we want to talk about things to consider when buying any gadget, part 2. And there's some few things that we want to highlight that you have to know how before you even step in to buy your new gadget that you're planning to. Alright, so the first thing we want to talk about is review. Fortunately for us, a lot of people have experience with the gadget that you are planning to buy. Even from manufactured, even if the first thing that is being manufactured, people have experience with it, people have the ideas about it, people have used it for some couple of time or minutes before, or it's tested, so people actually get to know how it works and everything. So before you even step in to buy a new gadget, or if you're planning to buy a new gadget, you go online, you search about the gadget that you want to buy. There are reviews about it, people's idea, people's experience, what they've experienced with it, the battery, the camera, all the ideas that they think about the gadget is up there. And even if you're not an internet person, you can go to a friend who has experience with the gadget, or maybe someone using the gadget, or you can walk into a shop that has a live dummy of the gadget. So you own it, you check, you go through, you review about it, you see how it works, and then if you're okay with it, then you go in for it. So the first thing we're talking about is review. You have to make sure that you know a lot, you have a fair knowledge about all the things or everything about the gadget that you want to buy before you even step in to buy. Alright, so the second thing we want to talk about is availability of parts. In a part of the world, we have issues with parts. So you have to make sure that the gadgets that you want to get actually have a part in our part of the world. If it is outside of a part of the world, fine, there are parts all over, you can go back and then get. But here, there's a lot of issue when it comes to parts. So you have to make sure that you know the gadget that you want to buy, it has parts available before you even step in. Because you don't want to buy a gadget today and tomorrow when it develops a fault, there's no part available for you to fix it. And that means you have to get a different money to get a different gadget, which is waste of money. So you have to research about the gadget that you want to buy. You have to search whether it has parts in this part of the world. Because next time that you have an issue, physical damage, something is broken, and then you can't fix it, it becomes headache. And I believe that we buy so we can be able to use it for a couple of time or a couple of years before we change it. So you make sure that you know that there's availability of parts in a part of the world. It's unfortunate that most of us think that things that come from outside of our part of the world are better than things that actually comes to our part of the world. People say that, oh, they have made some kind of gadget for Africa only. So he wants to get something that is made for Europe. Yes, fine, you can get it. But the unfortunate thing that will happen might be that you might not get the parts in this part of the world. So that means when you have an issue, it becomes a big problem for you getting parts in a part of the world. So the next thing we'll talk about is brand. Brand is very important. We know that there are brands that are very authentic and there are brands that, of course, they are not authentic. So you want to make sure that you choose a brand that will actually fit into your purpose, as we talked about. So brand that will actually help you get the best out of your gadget. I'm not here to choose for anybody, but you have to make sure that the brand that you choose actually have a part. So availability of parts actually takes you to branding. So brands, most of the brands are very, very common and then therefore has a lot of parts in a part of the world. So you have to make sure that this brand is very good. There are brands that are very, very good when it comes to gadgets. When it comes to production of gadgets, they are very good with it. So you have to make sure that, okay, if this is the brand, then very soon, then that means that you have parts that you don't have anything to worry about when it comes to parts. So people say, oh, this brand, oh, there are parts all over. Oh, this brand, It's good, but if you have an issue, you might not be able to get parts. So you make sure that the brand and then availability of parts actually goes hand in hand. So if you're choosing brand, you make sure that the brand that you're choosing actually goes with availability of parts. And then the brand too, we have authentic brands, so you have to make sure you choose the right brand for whatever that you want to use it for. The last thing we want to talk about is comparison. So we want to talk about comparison. So comparison is it's not actually about just brands, maybe comparing one brand to another, but it's about comparing the gadgets to another. Because every gadget comes with a specification, RAM, ROM, processing speed, camera, pixels. So even if you're choosing the same brand, there will be similarities and differences between one model and the other. So that is what comparison actually means. It's not really about brand. Maybe you're choosing a brand like Samsung, or you're choosing a brand like Techno, you're choosing a brand like itel, and then you're comparing itel to not really that. Yes, you can do that, but comparison actually means that comparing one to another, seeing the advantages and disadvantages. Maybe with what you want to do, you've seen a phone or you've seen a gadget that fits into that category, but you want to make sure that maybe there's another alternative that can actually serve better purpose. So that is what you mean. You see your gadget that you want to get, you go for it, you check the specs, you see everything about it, then you compare it to another thing that you even saw that might be kind of changing your mind about the gadget that you want to get. So you check, okay, this one has advantage over this one. What advantage that this one has over this one? What priority does this one have over this one? Camera, battery, anything that you think that is very necessary for your gadgets that you need to get from. So you make sure that you do this comparison before you even go in for your gadget. I believe that everybody wants to get the best out of your gadget. Nobody is really frustrating when you buy a gadget today and then the following day or in a month you start having issues with it. You are so frustrated. It gets so frustrated. You are doing something, it doesn't work out. Sometimes it's even in a difficult situation, or when you most needed the gadget to work is when it starts misbehaving. So you want to make sure that all these things that we talked about, you want to make sure that you go into it. The next time you want to get a gadget, you sit down, you go to search about the gadgets, you compare, you contrast, you do all these things that you're talking about on this channel before you even set out to buy your next gadget. I believe that now gadgets are what is reigning in the world now because of the coronavirus. So you don't want to buy a gadget today and tomorrow you have issues. You want to make sure that you get a gadget that will actually serve a purpose, will actually help you with whatever you want to do with the gadget. So as I always say, that there is no guarantee in these parts of the world, but there is warranty. Warranty covers only manufactured defaults and software issues. Any hardware issue or physical damage is up to you to fix it. So you make sure that any shop that you want to buy from at least have a warranty for you, a warranty to cover the gadget that you are getting. Because if you don't, anytime you have a gadget and then you have an issue with it and you take it back, they won't be able to sort you out. So you make sure that any shop or any office that you get into to buy a gadget, you make sure they have at least a kind of warranty for you. Most of the shops or most of the offices where gadgets have been sold in a part of the world have this rule that says that goods sold out are not returnable. Meaning when you buy any gadget from them, you can't bring it back and say, oh, I don't like it, I want to top up and buy a different gadget. It's not done. Most of them, they won't allow you, except you have a manufactured problem that they'll be able to sort you out. And even that, if it's beyond them, you have to wait till it's been sorted out before you get back your gadget. That means you're wasting a lot of time in whatever you want to use the gadget for. So when I say warranty, what can you be able to get from them? I mean, when your phone goes off, power off, you buy it today, and then the next day, the gadget that just goes off. Even that, some of the offices have to test whether it's a fault from you or it's a manufactured fault before they even sort you out. Most of our shops in this part of the world, they'll do that. Or maybe the gadget is freezing, they'll sort you out. If there's a need for them to change it for you, they change it for you. Maybe
let's say your phone, you're making call, you're not hearing the opponent or he's not hearing you. Yes, maybe your mouthpiece, your earpiece, all those things are manufactured defaults which can be sorted out for you. When it falls down and it gets broken, even your mouthpiece and your earpiece, sometimes they'll tell you that water damage, because most of the time, especially with the phones, when you're making calls, you see when you sweat, there's a little kind of sweat that enters the earpiece, which they'll tell you when you take it, they'll tell you it's your fault, it's a physical damage, which means there's a water damage in it. Meanwhile, it might not be an intentional thing, but you still have to go with them. So you make sure that all these things that we've spoken on this channel, you actually take it serious before you even step out to buy a new gadget. If you're planning a new gadget, then this is the place for you to actually listen to all these things before you actually plan on getting a new gadget. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, share, comment, and turn on your post notification button so you get notified anytime we drop a new video. It's your boy V-I-2-N-Y Vinny.
Hello, what's up guys? My name is Mr. Vinny, musician, tech entrepreneur, and welcome to my YouTube channel, Bourbon Optimum Console. This channel is dedicated to helping you get the right gadget for the right purpose at the right budget. Before you go on, don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell, be the first to get notified. So anytime we drop a new video, be the first to get notified. On the last episode, we've learned that there's nothing like overcharging. And then we learned on what happens and then how to know that there's no overcharging. If you are yet to watch it, the link will be in the description section. You can click on it and watch it. So first of all, batteries are measured in milliamps per hour. So you see that they're written mAh. So the higher the number, the better the battery capacity or the better the battery. So on this session, we are going to look at something that makes your battery run faster than you think. So the first thing we want to talk about is the brightness. So every gadget that you get, you see that most of the times when it's getting to a low battery, when it's getting very low, it gets to a point that it tells you that your battery is getting low. Then it reduces so many things by itself. That is when it's getting low. So that the brightness will be the first thing that it reduces. That means brightness takes a lot of current from the battery. So you make sure that anytime that your screen light is that high, you bring it down, you lower it, so you get enough battery to run you or to take you throughout the day. The second thing we want to talk about is location. Most people have no idea. You take their phones, for instance, and then you see their locations are on, their Wi-Fi is on, so many things are on which they think my location, it doesn't do anything. But on a more serious note, your location is actually scanning all around most of the time to see where you are, that people can actually reach you, people can know the specific place where you are at a particular time. On another side, it's actually taking a lot of current from your battery because it needs a lot of data, it needs a lot of current to actually keep running, to keep scanning your location all the time. So it's advisable that except you want to make or you want to get direction to somebody or you want somebody to see your current location, then when it's very needed or when it's very urgent, that's when you put your location on. The third thing I want to talk about too is your Wi-Fi. If Wi-Fi is very good, when your Wi-Fi is on, you're able to minimize data, expenditure of data on the networks, you're able to minimize it and Wi-Fi is also faster and better than the normal data that we use. But if it's not being in use, I advise that you just put it off because it keeps scanning all the time. You can say that anytime you want to connect to anybody's Wi-Fi and then you on it, or you even go to where you want to connect to the Wi-Fi. When you go there, you see that it keeps scanning to see if there are new hotspots available. So in that case, it keeps, even when it's not being connected to any hotspot, It keeps scanning all the time. It keeps doing that on and off thing. Every 2 minutes, every 3 minutes, it scans around to see if there is a hotspot available. So it keeps scanning all the time, and this scanning up and down, off, scan, and it's not connected to anything. It's even draining your battery more, which you have no idea about. I want to talk about one thing that most people really do and they don't have idea about it. Notification. Notification is very important. People want to get notified with their emails, with their WhatsApp, with their Facebook, with their, you see it's there, and then WhatsApp is there. You know, so they're very happy. Okay, I've got a message from this person. I've gotten a message from this person. But on another note, it takes a lot of current from your battery. It runs down your battery more than anything. So it's even advisable that you put off the notification. You only go to WhatsApp, not all the time. You go to WhatsApp to check your messages, and your messages are there. You go to Facebook to check your messages, or you go to your messenger itself, you check your messages. You go to Instagram to check your messages. But notification takes a lot from your battery. The next thing we want to talk about is minding your apps. There are a lot of apps that have a lot of background processes, which you might not be aware of. If you've been following us, you know that it's very advisable that anytime you even want to download any app, you have a review. Because any app at all that you want to download, when you go to Play Store, you go to App Store, there's a review about, or people's idea and people's views about the app is there. They tell you, oh, this app is no good, or this app is good. This app, it keeps running ads, it keeps doing this. So you get a little review of the app before you even download. In these major apps, there's many of them are having background processes that you are unaware of. That takes a lot of battery capacity from you. It takes a lot of current from your battery, which makes it run faster than it ought to run. Batteries by default loses their cell whether you're using it or not. Even when you off your phone for some time, you see that the percentage at which the battery capacity was, it wouldn't be the same again. Because by default, the cells start to lose their charges within them. They start to discharge a small quantity of the current in them slowly. So with your background processes, with these ads running and your data on, with these apps running at the background, that means that it's going to take a lot of current from you. Okay, so the last thing I want to talk about is that to keep your battery in good health, you don't wait until your battery gets to, or it warns you that your battery is low or low battery charge. You don't wait till your battery is 30%. You don't wait till your battery is 40%. Advisably, research has shown that you don't wait till your battery is 30%. 40%, 50%, you need to plug in your battery again. You need to plug in to charge your battery again. That way it keeps the battery in good health and in good shape. Your strength of your battery is sustained for a longer period before it starts weakening. Another thing that we want to talk about is putting your battery on battery saver. Most people think that, oh, when your battery is running low, that's when you put it on battery saver. And people come to the shop all the time complaining that my battery. And I realize that there are a lot of things that I'm talking about here that it's running or is happening on their phones or is happening with their gadgets, and it's making it run and it's taking a lot of battery capacity from them. So I want to advise that you make sure that this thing that we've talked about on this channel, you follow it up. It will really go a long way to help your battery and your battery life too. Thank you guys for watching. I hope all these things that we've talked about on this channel, you put it into practice. Or the next time you're buying a new gadget, you make sure that you look out for these things. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, comment, hit the bell, and be the first to get notified. You don't want to miss out on the content of this channel. It's your boy, VI2NY, Vinny!
Hi guys, my name is Daniel and you're welcome to Bevin Gadgets. Now, let me take you around. Alright guys, so this is our showroom. Come inside with me and let me show you around. Alright guys, so welcome to our showroom, and we have all the gadgets that you can ever imagine, from the phones, all types of phones, ranging to the laptops, headphones, earbuds, protectors, phone covers, just name it. So here at Bevin Optimum Consults, we also offer other services such as website designing, apps development, IT and gadget consultation, social media management, repairs, and many more. We are located at Tertiary First Junction, just opposite the taxi rank on top of CBG Bank. Follow us on all social media platforms at Bevin Optimum Consult. You can also call or WhatsApp us on 0556 872 448.
Hi, what's up guys? My name is Mr. Vinny, musician, tech entrepreneur, and you're welcome to my YouTube channel, Bevin Optimum Consult. This channel is dedicated to helping you get the right gadget for the right purpose at the right budget. Before you go on, don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell, be the first to get notified. You don't want to miss out on the content of this channel. So today the question is there anything like overcharging? As people say, you've overcharged your gadget and that's why your battery is draining faster than it used to. The answer is so today you want to know whether there's something like overcharging. That's the question we're asking. Is there anything like overcharging? No, there's nothing like overcharging. Now you know. Hooray, there's nothing like overcharging. So the first thing you want to know is that every battery contains a lithium that is responsible for charging, for recharging the battery. When it drains down, you can recharge it. So you have to make sure that brand is very important when it comes to choosing battery, because most of the brands will tell you it's 5,000, but in actual sense, the battery is 2,000 or 3,000. Some will say it's 4,000, but actually it's 2,000. Some will say any amount that they will write on it, but actual battery strength is lesser than what they've written. Your battery doesn't overcharge when you put your charger in it and you leave it for so many hours. Why? Because most of these gadgets are very smart to the extent that when it gets to 100%, the charger stops providing charges to the battery. The battery also have that technology where it cuts off the charging point, so it doesn't charge again. So though the charger is connected, it wouldn't charge. So there's no point that you see my battery has overcharged and therefore it's having issues like this or like that. Let me clarify this one also. It could be a manufactured default. If it's a manufactured default, fine, because sometimes manufacturers do have a little default with these gadgets. Maybe the battery wasn't really produced in as it ought to, so maybe an overcharging might affect it because the smartness of the battery wasn't really, put into place, or the charger. So only in manufactured default issues where you get batteries having the issue of overcharging. But there's a little issue which I want to clarify here today. If you leave your gadgets on charge for more than 3-4 hours, which we term as overcharging, which today there's nothing like overcharging. What happens is that, or mostly people going to sleep, they put their phone on charge or they put their gadget on charge and then they sleep, they wake up the following morning and they pick it up and then maybe it has a little issue, maybe they are using it for a while and then it drains down it drains down faster than it used to, and then people say that you've overcharged it or something. But I want to clarify this thing. The issue or what actually happens with that is that when your phones get to 100% or when your gadget gets to 100%, when the battery gets to 100%, it stops charging. The charger doesn't supply power to the battery anymore. The battery also doesn't take any power from the charger. But there is this issue. Anytime your battery is 100%, what happens is that it starts draining by default because of background processes that are running within your gadgets, which you are unaware of. It starts draining small. So because of the intelligence of the charger and the battery, when your battery is 100% and it's not charging anymore, as time goes on during the night or as time goes on when it's fully charged and you still not unplug it, it starts to drain a little. And because it starts to drain a little, the charger or the battery itself will realize that, oh, a charge or there has been a drain or there has been a decrease in charge. So the charger will actually supply another power to the battery. So it gets to 100% again. When it gets to 100%, it stops. And then it goes back, forth and back, forth and back. It drains, it charge, it drains, and charge. That is what actually happens throughout the night, or when you leave it on charge for a very long time. That's what actually happens. And this forth and back is what actually affects your battery, not now, but as time goes on. So you see, in a month or two, if you are used to charging your phone overnight, in a month or two, you see your battery starts draining faster than when you got it. Within the first 2 weeks, your battery was very strong. You could use it for the whole day or 2 days. As time goes on, because you are charging it overnight and because of what I just explained, the forth and back charge, you start experiencing. Now I want to talk about other things that actually affect your battery drainage. And the first thing we want to talk about is background processes. Most of us are unaware that there are a lot of background processes running, whether it's an Android system, whether it's iOS, or whatever operating system that your gadget is using. There are background processes that are running which you're unaware of. So people say, I'm not using my gadget, but it's still draining. The battery is draining faster. And so they bring it and they are complaining. But hey, whether you're using it or not, they have background processes that are running. They are running which you are unaware of. And those background processes are what helps your gadget to run perfectly. So whether you are using it or not, the drainage of the battery will still go on. But if it is going on in an abnormal way, that's when we say that there's an issue with the battery. But if it's going on in a normal way, it's normal for it to go on. So if there's no overcharging, then I can charge my phone overnight. I can charge my phone, put it on charge till I remember, oh, my phone is on charge, and I go for it. But there are little things that you need to know about that also. And we're going to talk about it now. So you can overcharge, you can put your phone on charge for as long as you want to. And these are the things that you need to do before you put it on charge as long as you want to. First of all, you have to take every case or any case that is covering your battery, your phone or your gadget. You take it off and you put it down. Then you can charge it for as long as you want to charge it. In that way, when the battery overheats, in case of overheating, it wouldn't affect your gadget. Because when you have a coat around your gadget and then it overheats, the battery overheats, cause a lot of issue to your gadget. When you remove the coat
or the covering or whatever you use to cover your phone to protect it, the phone is able to dissipate the heat that comes out of the battery. That way, it will be able to suck off the heat that will come from the battery. Then another thing is you make sure that it's lying on a flat surface, mostly maybe on the ground. So in case of overcharging or in case of battery heating up, it will be able to, the floor or whatever surface that you put on will be able to absorb that heat, which will not be able to affect your gadget. And then the issue with overcharging, which I said there's no overcharging, which means that you can put your gadgets on charge for as long as, even overnight, like people do when they're pressing their phones and they're about to sleep, they put it on charge, they wake up the following morning and they pick it up. There are so many other things that affect the drainage of your battery, but today we focused on the issue with overcharging, which I'm sure that you've learned a lot from it. So the next time you know how to charge your gadgets, you know the time frame and how to keep it and make sure your battery lasts longer. Even over time, maybe 1 year, you still have your battery taking you longer period of time before you even have to recharge it. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, turn on your post notification button so you get notified anytime we drop a next video. It's your boy, VI2NY. Vinny!
Hi, what's up guys? Mr. Vinny here, musician, tech entrepreneur, and welcome to my YouTube channel, Bevin Optimum Concert. So this channel is dedicated to helping you get the right gadget for the right purpose at the right budget. Before we go on, don't forget to subscribe, like, share, be the first to get notified. You don't want to miss out on the content of this channel. Alright, so today the question that we're asking on this channel is that, is color really important in buying any gadget? I mean, phone, laptops, any gadgets at all you're buying, sound bars. Is color very important? I personally, I believe that color is not really important, because I believe the work or what you want from the gadget is what should be your priority. I mean, because I've seen people come into the shop for being a sales rep and a sales manager over 6 years now. I see people walk in all the time and they're like, I want to get this kind of gadget. And then I'm like, oh, we have it. And I want this kind of color. Oh, we don't have this color. We have another color. I'm like, no, I like this kind of color. And the person wouldn't buy it because of that color. So we want to know that is color really important in buying a gadget? How important is color in buying a gadget? I want to hear from you in the comment section below. All right, so today we want to just give a little advice on buying any gadget. Some do's and don'ts in buying any gadget. Anytime that you buy any gadget, something that you have to do, something that you don't have to do. So the first thing that you don't have to do is throw your box away. No matter how big the gadget is or any kind of gadget at all that you buy, you don't want to throw your box away. Do you know why? Because it will come in handy. I'm telling you. Because the next time you want to sell it, you need a box. And you know, anybody that wants, if you want to sell something in a box, the price is higher than when you want to sell it without a box. Even though it's as new as anything, if there's no box, the price that they'll give you will be lesser than when you have a box. Even for warranty and guarantee's sake, you still need a box, because when you take it back, in case of a warranty, you'll be given warranty for like 30 days of returns, 2 weeks of returns, and then maybe within the 1 week, you threw the box away. I mean, when you go back and there's a need for them to change for you, there might be a difficulty in getting that done for you, because most of the gadgets have their IMEIs on the box, and then when you have to change it for you, you have to match with the IMEI on the gadget. So the one thing you don't want to do is throw your box away. Whenever you buy any gadget, any new gadget you buy, you don't have to throw the box away. It's very important. Keep the box. The second thing I want to talk about is, this goes to phones especially. Buy a protector. It's very important. You know, when you get any phone at all, you have to get a protector for it, because it's very important. When you buy a phone worth 1,000 cedis, 1,005 cedis, 2,000 cedis, and then your screen cracks and you're supposed to pay 70% of the price, or maybe 40%, 50% of the price you bought it. Meanwhile, you could have gotten a protector of 15 cedis that will be able to protect your phone in case it falls down. You're able to pick it up, or the screen protector will have that crack. You change it back and you get your phone back as new as it was. So why don't you get a protector? So please, I'm advising that anytime you get a phone, try as much as possible to get a protector. And the next thing too is for you to get a case, not just any case, but a case that has a foamy kind of texture in, that wouldn't scratch the back of your phone. It's very important. Get a cover for it. And so that's where I sometimes say is that color doesn't matter, because the cover that you're going to get will be something, or will be a different color at all. Or maybe you can even get the color of the cover that you want to get to cover it. So maybe it's a different color of the phone that you got, but you can actually get a different color or of your choice as a back cover or as a flip cover to cover it. This actually protects your phone from damages. In case it falls down, you can pick it back. The back is being protected, the front is being protected. And this one goes to those who buys laptops. This is very important. You can either get a pen drive or you get an external hard disk drive. It's very important, because due to viruses and due to certain things, your hard disks in your machine or in your laptop can actually crash. In case it crashes, I see people all the time crying because their hard disk has crashed due to viruses and so many things. Maybe it can fall down. Your machine can be with you, maybe it can fall down. You can have a water damage. Maybe water has poured on it, or you were eating something and water pours inside. The board is fried. Unfortunately, it can fry your hard disk too, which cannot work again. So it's very important that when you get any laptop at all, I advise personally that you get an external hard disk drive. You get an external pen drive that could you can use it as your backup. Why do you get the external? You use it as your backup. You copy the most important things on that external disk drive and you put it down somewhere. Or you copy all the most important thing on that pen drive and you put it down. In case someone steals the laptop, in case your hard disk crash, in case your laptop gets damaged in any way, you still have a backup of all the things that are very vital to you on it. Another thing is for you to set up your Google account or your Windows account or your OneDrive account. So you do all your backups, whether you have a phone, whether you have a laptop, you do all your backups to your Google Drive, or you do all your backups to all your OneDrive. So in case of anything, you have your password and your username. You can just log in and get back everything that you actually stored there. Getting a memory card is very important. We have that link down there in the description button. We talk about things to consider when buying any memory card. Yes, so you can get a memory card into your phone. Your phone can damage. Your phone can just get tired and wouldn't work one day, and you need some important things on it. So you copy the most important things onto the SD card in your phone. So in case your phone gets damaged, or in case of anything, you just pick up your SD card in your phone and you place it back into another phone, or you place it back into your machine, and you get things done as easily as possible. Another thing is, now we have some kind of pen drives that can actually help you. We call them OTGs. You can plug in, whether it's a type C kind of OTG or it's a type B kind of OTG. You can plug in into your phone or into your laptop, copy everything that is very important to you, copy it onto that drive from your phone
to your laptop, from your laptop to your phone. You can use it. So it's very important when you buy any phone or any laptop. These are the things that is very important for you to actually do. Don't throw your box away. All these things that we've talked on this channel, I believe that you take it into consideration the next time that you buy any gadget at all. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell, be the first to get notified, because you don't want to miss out on the content of this channel. It's your boy, VI2NY. Vinny!